Be aware of the systems you are in. Hi, it's Bijan here from coachingonline.org. I'm a life coach with a background in hypnotherapy and systemic therapy. My passion is to help others explore and change their inner subconscious pattern. If you're new here, please make sure you subscribe to my channel. The system and the bigger picture is a very important construct and concept, and I use it a lot in my coaching sessions. And I would like to give you some examples what it's about. There's even a completely separate therapy method like called systemic therapy, which looks at this bigger picture and the circumstances a person is in. So I think it's very helpful for me, for coachings, and for clients as well to see their situation better. So let's give you an example. A very common example is like if a person has eating disorders. So a typical example, usually it's more women they have this issue. So please, I hope it's okay for you if I bring you an example of a younger woman in a family. She had this issue. So one view you can take, one perspective you could take is like, okay, she's sick, she has an illness, she has this anorexia, and she's having an ability not to eat, like doctors would be say a disorder, eating disorder, and you have this diagnosis, and this is like, the symptom is like diagnosed. But if you go deeper, it's just a symptom maybe of a bigger problem, a bigger system. And it's one example where a young girl in a family, she had this issue. And then the therapist, a systemic therapist, looked at the bigger picture and so asked about, okay, what's going on in the family? What's causing this this thing? And then it turned out, so like the mother and the father, they had trouble and fights for a long time, and they were close to that all the families breaking, completely fall apart. So this was a bigger picture around it. So it turned out that this symptom was pretty smart in this environment, because otherwise the family would fall apart. Maybe the mother and the father would break up and split. So the girl, maybe unconsciously, it's mostly unconsciously, but did this behavior, and suddenly all the focus of all the family members went on her, and this symptom worked like cohesive for the family. So all family members came closer together, and finally it was all about her. But out of this perspective, you see like everything's falling apart, your world is falling apart, then maybe this is a very competent behavior to develop such a symptom, because on one side you're pretty smart to behave like this, to hold together the family, even if it's on a subconscious level. So this is just one example how, the mistake is made that you look separately at one behavior and don't see the bigger picture. And this is a very powerful and helpful tool. If you unveil these bigger pictures and the double binds and the connections to all the things in the system, then sometimes the clients can like an aha moment and say, wow, I never saw this. What causes or what's a consequence of my behavior, and that this could make sense in a bigger meaning and in a bigger perspective. So this is a very helpful and very, very effective tool. Another pretty common example, and which is, I'm sure most of you know this, are relationships. So relationships are systems, and maybe also the relationship and the families around it. These are a bigger system. And in relationships, you find also this kind of bigger picture. If, for example, the combination of strong and weak in relationships, sometimes it happens that one person got a weaker part, one person a stronger part, and this can be a systematic thing. If you look at the bigger picture, what's the reason why it is like this, and what's the effects and causes out of this. So so relationship, almost every relationship is like a system, and if you look carefully how everything fits together and how everything's related together, then there are huge opportunities to, if you address these and understand these bigger pictures, then it's a huge opportunity to change as a person and to develop different habits, more healthy habits, and to change your situation completely. So this is about systems and the things that are connected in a system. So always try to have a bigger picture, always ask the question, this behavior or this symptom, what's a consequence out of it? And what's a consequence in a bigger picture, in the bigger system? And maybe you find like a reason behind it, which subconsciously brings you to behave like this. Thank you so much for spending your time with me here. Appreciate it. Please subscribe to my channel and give me a comment if you have some experiences with this, with a bigger picture view, and maybe I can do a video about it, about certain cases. Thank you so much, and see you in my next videos. Bye bye.